share this. So welcome to a little Canva 101. I am Tracy Cox. I have been a cause entrepreneur with One Hope for a little over 5.5 years. Actually, in October, it'll be my 6th year of doing One Hope. So welcome to everybody who's new. It's so exciting to have new faces and new names and seeing all of you get your rock stars and just your impact director statuses and all that fun stuff too. It's amazing. And just know that whatever you do, you're here to do it for you and for your why. And that's kind of why we're doing a little Canva class. I'm a big believer in that, yes, we are part of One Hope, but us as our own cause entrepreneurs, we're our own brand. So we need to identify ourselves as our brand within our market and not always just drive people back to onehopewine.com. If they do go to onehopewine.com, that's awesome, but they need to know your name when they do that. Because if they don't have your shopping link, if they don't know that Jennifer Ginsburg is your name, when they check out, they can't write in, I am shopping with a cause entrepreneur and her name is Jennifer Ginsburg. So that's why too, if you're just starting with One Hope, make sure that your URL that you set up, onehopewine.com/myshop/ just use your name if it's available. Don't make it fancy. Don't make it, so, and I say that and then I'm gonna go back. Mine is Wine with Tracy, but mine's been Wine with Tracy for 4 years, 5 years, I think, because at the time when I joined, we did not have the opportunity for on our website that if somebody went to One Hope, they had to know my link in order to shop with me. If they just went to One Hope, they would buy from One Hope and I wouldn't get the credit for it. We didn't have the opportunity to put in your name, cause entrepreneur. So put in your name, whatever you do, you're a cause entrepreneur with One Hope. Use the same language that One Hope uses in their, in what we're called, because that's what they market. On all of their information, it'll say in the catalog, it'll talk about contacting your cause entrepreneur, contact your cause entrepreneur. If you say that you're a wine rep or a wine distributor for One Hope, nobody's going to know what that is. So keep with your same language. And that's also why even using the social shareables that come out from One Hope, which are absolutely stunningly beautiful photography.
Really nice.
Taylor does an amazing job. Like, it is so beautiful. Even if you use those, I recommend just putting your name someplace on there and cause entrepreneur or link to your website. The easiest thing to do for that, you can use Canva for that as well, because you can just throw it into Canva on your phone or go through a whole bunch of them on Canva. Or I use WordSwag on my phone. I don't know if anybody else uses WordSwag. I find it, and I'm an iPhone user, so I find it, I was helping Lynn with WordSwag the other weekend, and she has an Android, so was not quite as easy to use on the Android for some reason, but on the iPhone, it was super, super easy. And that was, and I can show you how that works too, but it's super easy to just add your name and a little, like your website on there, and then save it to your phone, and then you can pop it up on your social channels. So I'm gonna do a share screen. Oh, my buttons moved at the bottom. Okay, there. Okay. Kind of cleaned off my desktop here for you, because it can get a little crazy with tabs open. For those of you that are new, and even for those of you that have been around a while, I want to share one of my favorite places to find your resources in order to get some of these shareables that we talked about with the corporate office. When you log into your CE dashboard in the back off in your onehopewine.com account, there is a link that says resources. This will take you to this resource center. Through this resource center, if you go down to index, this is my absolute favorite place to ever, just check for information first. Anything you need to know about OneHope is probably right here in this downloadable resource section. It talks about hosting, events, reasons to join, the opportunity presentation to become a CE is on here. Corporate gifting information is on here. These are all PDFs, so they're all easy to click on and have the information at your fingertips. I have this bookmark on my phone and my computer, so I can just pop in here. This is also where you will get the social media shareables, also known as the shareables folder. It is a Google Drive. You should not need to have a Google account in order to get into it. Sometimes they forget to have the edit links or the view link so you can see the information. But majority of the time it just takes a quick little email into support and then they unlock it, because that happens with everything. They probably work on stuff before they launch it to us, and then they want it so we can't view it ahead of time, and then, you know, so now we have to get the permission. But here's all some great information that is all in shareables. So let's say we want to do Kendra Scott. With this drive, you can also change your view. So you can have a list, you can have a grid view. Just depends on how you like to view stuff in Google Drive. So this is a shareable that they've created for us. It's in a picture format. So when you click on this, you can either, depending on how you're accessing it, I'm on my computer. So when I click on this, I go up to my icon in the upper right. If I'm on my phone, I can just save it to my camera roll, but I can download this photo. So I'm going to download this one today. My computer asked me where I want to put it, so I'm just going to save it how it is right there. And then if I want to, like, we're going to pop this into Canva just to show you how to take, it says ask me how. We can cover that up. We can put our name on here, all that fun information too. So we'll do that first as just kind of a little example. But also back in the shareables, there are so many fun things. When you go over to all the wine club information is in here. To drill down a little bit, there's some wine club information in there. There is wine guides, there's recipes and pairings. See, holiday cooking is coming up, so this will be fun to share for the holidays, even back to school time. You know, you never know, there's lots of fun stuff in there. Does anybody have any questions so far? And you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask a question anytime that we're going through this. You know, conversation is good, and it's good to ask your questions kind of like when you're going. You can also pop them in the chat if you want. That's not a problem as well. What did I just do? I just clicked this on.
Tracy, I have a question. Are you going to show us how to attach links to our socials that when clicked on can take us right to our store? Or like when I'm on Facebook, these ads pop up, and if it's like cute sunglasses, it'll literally say swipe up to purchase right now. Do we know how to do that to our stuff?
Yes, so good question, and we'll go over that. Well, I'll just do it right now. So a lot of times with Facebook ads, with Instagram ads, in order to do a swipe up to go to your store, you need 10,000 followers on Instagram in order to create a swipe up. Yeah, they did just do a thing that you can do a direct DM me, and you can put a DM button. There's actually a button on the phone on your, I don't know if you know how you do it when you go into Instagram and you're going to add either a GIF or you're going to add a link or something. There's now a DM button, so it'll take you right to your DMs on Instagram. And same with Facebook. Facebook's whole thing is to keep you in Facebook as well. Any of the social media programs are geared to keep you in their stuff. Facebook just changed their whole entire platform. If you haven't went to the new platform yet, you will be soon. There's it's called the classic Facebook, is now going to be phased away, and everybody's going to be moved to this new Facebook program.
I don't think I'm a fan of it yet.
It does take a while to get used to. I switched to it a while ago because I had the opportunity to, and I used it for like a week, and I was like, oh, I can't do this. I just can't do it. It's too complicated. And now I have no choice, so it's like, okay, I'll do it.
I did the same thing. I went back to the whatever the other was, and then now I got the little message. Sorry, you have to have the other one now, no matter what.
Yeah. But Facebook is making so many advances, and they're doing so many cool things. There's a way that people can shop through Facebook when you have a business page. There's all this different stuff that they're integrating in there too. They also have a way that you can go live instead of doing Zoom and Zoom to Facebook. You can go live right from Facebook. There's different ways to create polls. There's different ways too now that, I don't know if you've seen it, but on some people's videos, they'll have the video and it'll say, send this person stars. What that means is it's like a star is a penny. So it's equatable to $1. So there's this one social media person that I follow, or it's equatable to a penny, sorry. And you can send that person, they just give you a great tip. You're like, oh my God, that was worth 100 stars. That's worth $1. Let me send that person $1. It's kind of a fun little way to just kind of engage your audience and that kind of stuff too. That's just starting to roll out, I noticed on there. So it's, just as soon as you know something, it's gonna change and move forward. But that's why what we need to do as cause entrepreneurs is to make sure that people know our name. People need to know our name. They need to shop with us. No matter what direct sales business you're in, they want to shop with you. And that's people gravitate towards you because they like you. And they buy from you, and whether they met you at an event or they just follow you online, then they're like, oh, hey, that's cool. I like Janine. Like, hey, I think I'm going to buy wine. Who sells wine? Oh yeah, Janine does. You want them to know you sell One Hope for sure, because, it's such an amazing company and what we do. So you want to share that, but you just want to make sure that they know your name. And that's why too, there's a lot of podcasters and stuff that you'll listen to, and people who say, don't use the same images from the corporate office. What happened a few years ago, I used to be involved with another direct sales company, and they got spammed out of Facebook because all their consultants were emailing people from, the high school days that they've never talked to and been like, hey, oh my God, I got this great product. It'll help you lose a lot of weight. Do you want to try it? And it's like, that's another thing too with our industry and direct sales. It's like, don't be cheesy. If you haven't talked to that person in 20 years, don't automatically go in with a sell. You can talk to them if you want, but just know that that's what gives direct sales a bad name. So you want to keep your name above that line. And that's why too, creating images that you create, they're different from anybody else's that are being created. Even on our CE image sharing page, not all of us are using the Be Bold as Your Red Wine that I can't remember who created it yesterday. Someone created. Oh, Melissa, you created it? That was awesome. We're not all using that. But if we were all using it and we had, let's say we're at 100,000 consultants, cause entrepreneurs one day, and every single one of us uses it, that looks like a big mass spam thing in the algorithm with Facebook and stuff too. So that's why creating your own and using them. But then if somebody shares that picture, your name should be on that to link it back to them, because somebody may share it. I had somebody share one of my posts that had now has 150 shares on it. And it was just some little meme that I recreated, I should say. And, I'm probably not I might have gotten a couple Instagram followers from it, but at least if somebody wants to come back and buy wine, at least my name's kind of on there. So it's like, oh, okay, at least my name's there. So they could maybe at least link it to me. It just makes what we do a little bit more about what we do. And showing you with your own wine and enjoying the wine, that's what it's all about too. So when you're going to start with Canva, when you're going to design anything, you kind of need to know what your purpose is. So I work at a school. We teach the 7 habits of effective kids. It's kind of like the 7 habits of adults too. So habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. What is your goal? Where do you want this to be? Is this a Facebook post? Are you creating a presentation for your team? Are you creating a postcard? What is it that you want to do? With Canva, you literally can design anything. So just when you log in, I have the pro account. I pay $19.99 a month for this. Hands down, the best $19.99 a month that I spend, because I get all the pro. I don't have to pay for images that I use. There's a whole bunch of templates on there that are free to me. I get all these updates and stuff. Hands down, just the easiest thing and the best thing to do, because then I don't have to worry about it. So if you want to design something, you can search some templates up here, so you can see maybe, what may have been designed before, if there's a template created. If you're starting from scratch, even if you maybe don't even know where you want to go, you can just click on it. Like I'm going to do an Instagram post. So let's take that picture that we did with like Kendra Scott and make it into an Instagram post. So when you click on Instagram post, it'll bring up your little canvas for you to work on within Canva. On the left-hand side, it gives you a little toolbar of templates, uploads, photos, elements, text. We'll walk through these. If this isn't open right here where it says templates, there's a little button that you can hide that, so you can just work on here. From the beginning, I kind of like to figure out what template do I want. And they have a lot of ones that are already created. So I just like to go through and scroll through some of these and see which one is going to be the best for what I want. The one with the picture that we just downloaded with Kendra Scott kind of might be its own post by itself, but maybe you just want that bottle of wine on there. I'll show you how to bring that into an image as well. So let's start with, I'm going to do another Canva template, and I'm just going to create a design, and I'm going to do an Instagram post from scratch. I'm going to go back to that other one in a second. So we downloaded that picture from the shareables drive. So now I want to upload it into my Canva. So I'm going to go over to uploads. I'm going to click upload an image or video. They just launched this. So if you haven't used Canva before, you can now get it from your Google Drive, from your Instagram, from your Facebook, or your Dropbox. It connects. I don't know if that's just for pro or if it's for everybody.
I was just about to say, I haven't seen that, and that really got me excited.
Okay. Yeah, I was excited too, because I'm now starting to put all my pictures on Google Drive, where it's great that if there's something on my Instagram, then I can just pull it in here and update it.
That's cool.
So I typically upload from my device, or if it's just sitting right here, you can just drag and drop into this area as well. Now I'm not using a template with this one, so I'm just going to click this picture and it's going to pop over here into my design. If I want this to fill the whole image, I just click on the little buttons that pop up here, the little round button to help move it. So this would be the size of an Instagram post. Now I just want to add my name and cause entrepreneur onto here. So I'm going to go to the text portion. And I could use some of these fancy ones, but this is what we use kind of more for when you're designing your own. And this already has some, element of dazzle on it. So you want to just kind of keep it simple. So I'm just going to click add a little body of text. I'm going to move this. You just hold and click with your mouse to where it's at. And then just, I'm going to move my coffee out of the way. Write my name on here. Tracy Cox. Entrepreneur. If I have my website, which I do, I might put it on here. And depending on where I want to put this, I may just want to pop it right here at the end of the picture. I may want to put it over here underneath One Hope or above One Hope. Let's say I want to get rid of this little Ask Me How. I can go over to Elements. And in the Elements, this will give you different shapes, different frames. A frame is something you can pull a photo into. Stickers. So if you wanted to click a love sticker on here, this makes your image animated and kind of counts as like a movie when it's posted, a little video. You don't have to do this on here. I'm not going to on this one. I'm just going to do a little shape. And sometimes on pre-designed ones, I just do the shape so I can maybe take off the Ask Me How, maybe even the One Hope logo. I want this so it's not necessarily this dark color, but let's say if I want to put it in a different color, I can click the color button up at the top. If you go over to the left-hand side, you can click New Color. This will let you just go through a color selector. You can drag this color all around. If you have a color that you're using personally for your brand, or a color that you have, like all your Instagram is now, you're going to do it fall colors for the fall, or orange pink for the month of October coming up. You know, you can pick out whatever color you want on here and click here. Also, if you're using a photo, it gives you the colors that are in the photo now. So this is, oh my God, this is amazing. So there's not a lot of colors in this photo, but you know, it's picking up the nuances of the wine, the background. So if you want it that same background color so it doesn't look like it's different, voila, it's the same background color. Might just be a hint or two different because each Pantone color has, you know, a little nuances to it. But let's say you want to just have this so it doesn't say Ask Me How. Maybe you want to be like, you know, contact me for details. You can do that just by going back into your text box. And saying, contact me for details. And then whenever a box, any box, whether it is your picture, your text, an element, whenever it's selected, it'll have the little blue lines all around it with the circles on the corner and the little lines in the middle. So that means you can move it in and out. Those are just kind of what you use to crop your image with. When you're in a text box, same thing applies. So it can help you to increase your text, decrease your text. If you want to do contact me for details, when you're in a text at the top of your screen, it'll let you choose your different fonts. So let's say we don't want the Open Sans light, and maybe we want to do it, maybe try to find that exact same font, which this font, they actually created this in Canva. A lot of their social shareables that they have right now, I found the template in Canva last night that they use for this and for their presentations. It was like, I mean, you're gonna know once you start looking at this, you're gonna be like, oh, that TV commercial has the same elements that Canva is in it. That menu at that restaurant they created in Canva. They did that Canva. Like, you're gonna look and you're gonna be like, I can do that. That's so exciting.
Are we recording this, Tracy?
Yes.
I have to go get my daughter. I'm so pissed.
Oh.
And I'm so happy that we're recording it.
Yes, I'm recording, and I'll pop it in the CE image sharing page. So if you want to change just one line of text, you can. You just have to, you know, highlight it. I changed it to virtual, so it made it a little smaller. And then up at the top, you just select your font size. And you can see, that's still not big enough. Let's do it this way. So maybe we want it, it's going to be on a social media post too. So, you know, have it like that. Contact me for details. And then maybe I want my name a little bit bigger too. And then I can move this over there. And there. So that would be something easy you can do just to add your name onto social shareables that go out. To save this, you click the download button in the upper right-hand corner. PNG is an image file, just like a JPEG is. PNG is it's a really high quality image, so it takes up a lot of space. But if you're creating a business card, if you're creating a postcard, anything that you're going to eventually maybe print off and hand out, save it as a PNG. It gives you a little bit more high quality. JPEG is probably the standard one, and it's the best for you to save stuff as. If you're going to save it as something somebody can download from somewhere or attach to your email to download, you can click a PDF. If you're doing a PDF, so I think it was Lori that asked about putting our links on here. So you see my website right here. If I double click it, and I'm just going to copy my website, while that's still highlighted, I'm going to go to the ... button. And there's this little thing called the link. So if I click on this link, and then I enter my link and I paste it there and I apply it, if somebody now goes in when this is a PDF, only with a PDF, it won't happen if it is a JPEG. So it won't save the link. It won't be a clickable link if it's a JPEG. It'll be a clickable link if it's a PDF. Then you can save that as a PDF, and when somebody clicks on that, it'll take them directly to my shop. So that's great if you're doing a little brochure, if you're doing a little one sheet that'll say, that talks about like corporate gifting, or like this, like I created, I think this is, I have to update this, but like a little flyer like this, that then I email out to people. So my links down here are clickable. So if they see this in their email, they can click on this in the PDF and it'll take them directly to my website or to my email address. So then you can download this. So if you download it as a PDF, that link will be clickable. You can't put a PDF on social media. It just doesn't work. That's not what the format is. Unless you're putting it in a group so other people can see it, then you can do that, but it won't be something that you would put like on your regular timeline. If this had the little animated sticker on it, we could download it as an MP4 as a video, and it would save it as a video and upload as a video into your social media.
So Tracy, sorry, are you sending an email with the clickable link?
Yeah, sometimes I send an email with it, and then I attach it as a PDF. So then when they open up this flyer and they're scrolling through it on the PDF, then my link will be clickable at the bottom.
Okay, so I thought we could put this on social media, but no, that's not the case.
So you can't do it on Instagram or Facebook as a clickable link from a PDF. You can add your link into, when you're first posting, you can add your link in there. If you're doing like an ad or something like that, a business ad or something, and you want to, then your photo could be clickable, but that all works with ads and doesn't work with what you set up right here.
So where are you creating these and then posting them?
So this, I wouldn't create this as for a clickable link. I would create this just as what I'm going to post on my Instagram or my Facebook. So like I would download this as a JPEG. And then this, and then I would upload that picture into my Facebook. And then from my Facebook, I would download it into my phone and put it on Instagram too. Now, there's another amazing little thing that Canva just rolled out, literally just the other day. Oh, Stella wanted to repeat the last step for the PDF. Did I get that for you, Stella? When you click download, you can pick your file type. So PNG, a high quality image, JPEG is probably what most of us are going to be using to post on social media. PDF if we're creating a document or a multi-page document. PDF print if you're going to put something to print, because that's kind of like a high quality image. So PDF print is like when I print off these brochures, I make it a PDF print because the image is just a little bit better on there. So that's how you save the information, then you can download it. Now, to the right of the download button is this amazing little arrow. When you click this arrow, they just literally added all of these options on here. So now you could present from here. So I have a presentation for like Welcome to One Hope that I created in Canva, and I can present directly from Canva. It's amazing. I just love it. I can present and record. It says it's in beta version, so that means it's a test version. So if I want to put this on my Facebook page, I can create it and I can click Facebook page and I can upload it to my Facebook page right now. There is also, it does have, you can put it on your MailChimp. You can save it to your Google Drive. There's also a brand new thing on here called Schedule. This will allow you to schedule your Facebook posts. So I could set this to today's Saturday. Maybe I want this post to go out at, let's have it do it 10:45, because that's in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I can say done. And now I'm going to choose my destination where I want it. Do I want it on my business page? Do I want it on CE image sharing page? I have a couple other pages. I use this for work. I work at a school. So I have some that I just automatically post to my Facebook on there. Like I make all the teachers' birthdays. So I'm going to go through that whole birthday list, create all their new designs this year, and I'm going to just schedule it right from here. And then I'm going to be like, boom, done. I don't even have to think about it going on for the rest of the year and be like, oh my gosh, did I put that person's birthday on there? Unless I get let go, then that's another story. But let's hope that that doesn't happen. Or, you know, if I'm not there. But you can choose your destination. So I'm going to put this in the image sharing, and I'm just going to say, example of what we made in Canva training today. And I'll delete this post, but I'm just going to I'm going to schedule it for right now. So you'll all see that it'll pop up in there at 10:45. Since we're all on that same page, it'll just automatically publish to that page at 10:45. Then you can also go, there's a content planner. So,
hey Tracy, is that feature just in the Pro?
It is just in the Pro.
Okay.
But it's hands down another reason to get the Pro. And I don't make any money off of you or anything telling you Pro. I think there's probably a code I can share, but literally it makes your life so much easier to have the Pro edition. Another reason why to have the Pro is you can resize your images. So if we go back in there, this is my content planner, which I'm going to get back out, and I'm going to go to all my designs. So let's say now that I have this image, but now it's saved. Okay. Oh, this is good. It just popped this up. So I'm going to make a copy of this because this one's already going to be used for something. So I'm going to make a copy. So let's say I'm going to be going to an event and I want to hand out these little flyers to somebody. So this is going to be a little tiny little one. Maybe it'll be great because I can have my printer print 4 per page, but maybe I just want to do a full page and I'm going to add some more content into this. So if I go over to resize, because I have the Pro account, it'll just let me resize it. So I'm going to resize it to a poster size because I'm going to make a poster, let's say. So it resizes it for me. I have to do a little bit of edits on here because the picture was bigger than what I had. So maybe I want to do this with it. Now, when you have this and it's set as a background, sometimes Canva it won't let you like really manipulate it the way you want it. But let's say I just want this poster. So I just sometimes just delete it and start over again. That was a really bad example, actually. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll just put this in here because maybe you're gonna do an event and you wanna make this bigger and bring this down here. I'm gonna make this so it's my whole background, that element. And now I have this a little bit bigger, and then I can print this out, and this will be like a whole page that maybe I can hand out to somebody at an event.
Hey Tracy, is there an advantage to? I notice how you change the size of the image by clicking and expanding it. Is there an advantage to doing it that way as opposed to like right clicking and set as background for an image? Does it just fit better maybe?
So in Canva, I don't think you can right click and save as background. I know if I right click, it gives me
yes, at the very bottom there, the set image as background.
Oh, let's see what happens. Oh, that's new. I never tried that before. Well, now it's not even showing me that image. So, oh, but it might be because this image is on top.
Send it to the background.
See, then it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't create your image in that size.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that's why it's that's the one thing about Canva. It's kind of finicky on certain things, but hands down, it's amazing on other things. So when you do have something and that's set as your background, you can crop it, and then this is all it'll let you do though with it is move it left or right. So something with wording on it when it's set as the background, I sometimes just start over from the beginning because it's just easier than trying to figure out how to manipulate this. So I want to go over into just creating one from scratch. So let's create an Instagram post. So we went into back at the beginning where we picked our design. We went into a social media template. And then on the left-hand side, it says template. So when you click this button, all these templates will appear for you. And this is positioned for an Instagram post. So you can see there's a whole lot of different things in here. What's really great about Canva too is that when you look at it, like look at the layouts, look at the design, it kind of gives you the whole design flow right then and there. So you're not really recreating everything. You're going to add your specific elements and touch to it. But you can see too when you're designing something how you want images to be clean and clear and crisp and what the words are and what's really going to stand out and what's going to be the focus on your post. So let's do this peach zucchini muffins. You can see this one has, when I have my cursor on it, it's like scrolling through a bunch of different designs. So there's 5 different designs in this category for this template. So let's say you're going to do an Instagram post for 5 days and you wanted it to be all about peach zucchini muffins or something, but you want it to all flow and kind of look good on your Instagram grid if you're concerned about that. You could use this template and create 5 different posts from it. So you can click apply all 5 pages and all 5 pages will show up on your space to work with, or you can just click one. So we're just going to click one right now. This pops up over here. Now all of these little things are editable, so you can change all of these words. So let's say we're just going to focus on maybe a recipe that we have at One Hope. You will find whatever it is that you want, your picture that you want to focus on, download it, and then bring it into Canva. I have a whole bunch of stuff over here. You can tell I use this a lot. Some teammates. There's also a way, I think if you have the pro account, you can create folders, which I just started doing the other day. So let's say we're gonna do this recipe. So we're going to click on this picture from our upload section. We're going to bring it into to Canva. Now sometimes it'll just pop right in here and other times it doesn't. Canva can be weird sometimes. There, if I click it and drag it over, I don't know if you guys could see how I did that. If you find the picture and just drag it over to where that picture is, it should just fill that frame. Oh no, I think I just deleted the frame. Hold on. So you find the picture you want on the left-hand side and drag it over into the frame on the right-hand side. And again, sometimes Canva does this perfectly. You can drag and drop it in there, and sometimes it doesn't. So then I just kind of do it again. And why does Canva want to not do it when I'm doing a class? There we go. So it pops in there. Now, when this picture is highlighted, this picture is actually in a picture frame. So if you want to change what's being shown in this frame, when you click on the picture, at the top it gives you the toolbar. It gives you effects, filter, adjust, crop, oops, and flip. So right now we're gonna crop this picture because I don't really need to see the wine bottle in there. Maybe I just want this part of the picture. And maybe I just want it so it shows me that much of it. And then you click done. So you figure out what you want to show in your frame, and then you can crop it and move it around. Also within this frame, if you want to go over to filter, just to make sure, sometimes Canva, there's like an overlay. I always go over and click none on the filter because then you're getting your original picture. If you want to filter it to something, you can choose one of these fun little filters, create the intensity of the picture. You know, this is kind of fun to play around with. You can also go to adjust and adjust the brightness of the picture. So maybe you want it just a little brighter, little less contrast, however you feel like you want to create your picture, you know, so maybe it pops just a little bit more. And then you can change this to, let's call it sparkling. I don't know what this drink is, but we're gonna call it a sparkling, spicy drink. You can put your text in here. Again, within a text box, you can highlight your text. Up at the top, it'll give you options to do with your, to change your fonts. Another fun idea for over here is if you want to go up into the search bar under the fonts, and let's say, oh yeah, maybe you do want a handwriting font. You can click on handwriting. It'll bring up a bunch of different fonts that are in handwriting. Then you can X out of there. You're like, oh, I like apricots. Let's try that. So you can see how it'll change it over here for you. You're like, oh, that's too crazy to read. We can't read that. You know, you're like, oh, maybe you like that one. We're gonna go back to apricots. That was kind of fun. Now I want this to be a little bit bigger, so I'm just gonna click and drag. Put kind of here in the middle, so it's not blocking my information. And I'm gonna, I don't even need that there, so I'm just gonna delete that. This also had a background on it. Oops, let me go back to that. So if you click on the whole frame, up here in the left-hand corner, it'll show you the background color. If you click that, it gives you options to change the color. If you go over on the left-hand side to the little toolbar over here and scroll down, there is a background option. And this gives you a lot of different options that you can put on your background. So if you wanted to change it because you wanted it yellow, or maybe you wanted to have some, like you would not do that because that just does not look good, just FYI. Just, that's like too much going on there. But you know, it gives you an option to change your background on stuff as well right here. But if you go through this and you just start playing with it, which I suggest that you all do, you just go back up to the top and it gives you your plain background colors again, so you can change it back to where it was. Or maybe you'll be like, oh, maybe I do want a different color background. Like maybe this one works better for what you're aiming for. And let's say you have this background and then you want to, maybe you don't want it quite as that. Maybe you want to click over on the new color and you can just drag it down a little bit and be like, oh, I like that one. That's kind of like a muted color of what we're going for the fall maybe. And then you're like, oh, now I changed the background. Now my words aren't popping quite as well. What should I do about that? Maybe I need to change their color. So you can go back in and highlight them. You can go up here to the font color. And then you can maybe play with a couple other fonts and see the color and maybe like, oh, maybe white's gonna pop a little bit better on there. Maybe I'm gonna bring that up a little bit. So there's just a lot of options that you can do. You'll see this is one element. Behind this, here's another element too. If you don't want this, or now maybe you want to change this color, you can do that as well. This just creates like a little depth behind your photo. So depending again on what you're doing, this is a pre-built Canva template that I've just kind of like deconstructed now. And maybe down here, this is where you want to write, you know, follow me for recipes, and then put your social handle. Or maybe you want to say, see your link for this or something, whatever it is that you want to create. It's just text, so whatever text you want to put in there. If you want to, when you're in a text box too, up at the top, the first button is your font. Then it's your font size, which you can change manually, or you can use the little circles on the outside and drag, kind of pull and drag. There is the font color. You can, if the font is able to go bold, you can click bold, you can click italics, alignment, the left side, the middle, the right side, the full width, depending on what you want. Bullet points, line spacing. I'm going to take this off, this one, so it's kind of funky. Bullet points will bullet point the whole thing. It also changed it to 1, 2, 3. Line spacing, sometimes you just want to change, you want the letters to be spread out, or you want the line height. So maybe with sparkling spicy drink, you want that these letters spread out a little bit more. You can go to the spacing and go to letters, and it'll see how it spreads out your letters, or maybe you want to bring them in a little bit more. And line height, same thing, it just kind of separates your line height. And then effects. So this is a really fun one that's new, and it might only be on Pro, I'm not sure. But let's say you want to, this is your bold statement, your sparkling spicy drink. Let's make it so it has a little shadow behind it. I'm going to actually change this font color at the top so we can see it a little bit more. So if we go in, you can see how this, you can give it more intensity. See how it just kind of makes it, gives it that little extra pop on some of these effects. Or maybe you want to drop shadow. You can figure out where you want your shadow. You can figure out the shadow color. So it kind of gives it a little more pop and a little more pizzazz. You know, you don't want your whole entire post to have all of that. It's just kind of like what you're highlighting. There is also a way when you go in and you're just on your background. So on your post, on your background, your design, this little button called animate, this will make it into a movie. And this is kind of fun. So you can go through and you just click on these and see which one you like. This is how your elements will appear on your screen. So it's kind of fun if you're doing a little social media post of it, boom, boom, boom. So when someone's scrolling through, the little video kind of catches their attention for a second. And normally these with the little, if you can see over here where it says baseline or stop and it has the little crown next to it, that's normally for the pro version. So you might not be able to get those. The other ones might be available. But these are so much fun. Like, how fun is that to like just add that little pop to your post? That one's a little spastic for me, so I don't like that one, the neon. But you know, they're so fun to do that. And then when you download this, up at the top, this top toolbar, from left to right, it's home, file. So if you're working on this and you want to make sure you're saving it, it saves automatically, but just to make sure, sometimes you might want to hit save. Resize, if you want to resize this. The undo button, which is great because you can go back and undo a few steps in case you just messed up like I did earlier. And it's like, oh, undo, undo, undo. Let's change that. This gives you the information that all your changes are saved. This is the title of your creation that you're working on. So if we don't want it to be called sparkling spicy drink, you can create it and then you can just change it right up here. If you want to share it, this will let you share it with other people. So a lot of us share information in Canva or share the templates that we make so other people can use them too. Down here at the bottom, share a link to edit, share a link to use as a template. I think this is just a pro version feature. So this is what I'm starting to do on all of my designs that I create, or I'm going to recreate a few of them and put them up here. If it's shared as a template, then when you bring it up, it'll ask you if you want to use that template. So you can go ahead and use that template. It doesn't do anything to the original file that was created. If somebody shares a link to edit, when you open up their link, just take a second to go over to File and make a copy. And then it opens up a copy of that file that you just opened in a new browser window. And it actually says copy of untitled right here. So then edit your copy. Because if you edit the original one that somebody posts in the CE image sharing drive or the group, then if you edit it with your information on it and change the whole design and stuff, then you've just changed the whole design for everybody else that's ever going to access it. So it's always good to go in and make a copy and edit from your copy. And then I like to just go back to my original one and close that so I don't edit that by mistake. And then maybe save this copy. It'll say copy, so that's how you know you're working in it. So those are the share options. And then there's share a link to view. So you can share a link to view with somebody as well. This little timer is the duration of the animation. So it's like 5 seconds and it stays on the screen. You can play with this too. There's different, I think they just launched a way that you can change the timing of it too, somewhere on there. And then we can download it. So if it's animated, you want to download it as a video, an MP4. If it's not animated, and then you can just download it as a JPEG to post on your social channels. Any questions so far? Let's see, I'm gonna check the, oh, so Tasha asks, is it ready to add an outline to the text to make it stand out? So Tasha, hopefully I just showed you that effects. Did that answer your question? Oh, Megan, you said the prickly pear. Yeah, that one, it would be yummy too. Oh yeah, and Liz and Stella were talking about what printer that they suggest. I work at a school, so I have access to a really nice printer. So sometimes I just give the school some money for printing out my stuff at their place. Otherwise, I use Staples a lot. Like I create my own business cards within Canva, and then I just upload them to Staples, print and copy. and print them out because I can get 500 cards for like $25. So that's what
Could you show us those, Tracy? Because I saw that when you were talking about the brochures and stuff, and I wanted to see that.
You wanted to see what, Janine? The brochure?
The business cards. The business
Oh,
cards.
the business card.
Because
Yeah.
I loved how you showed it on the back of the corporate pamphlet.
Yeah,
I loved because I saw it little. It looked like you brought a picture of yourself in, which I thought was great too.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Because I think of ourselves as a real estate agent. Every real estate agent you know. So, and I say this at some of my presentations too. I said, One Hope is like my broker. Like if I'm presenting to real estate agents, I'll say, One Hope is my broker, like Keller Williams is your broker. I'm an independent rep within the One Hope channel. So a lot of what we do too is educating the consumer on what it is that we do. They think that we're the, $10 minimum wage girl that's walking around the bar giving shots, or at the grocery store that is hired by, the trade company. Because typically that's what happens in alcohol. If they're doing, sampling or people are selling, they actually work for the company. We're so new in this space. I think there's only a few wine companies that are direct to consumer. And One Hope does have a retail presence. It started as a retail brand. It's continuing as a retail brand, but that's why they have the core collection that is sold in the retail channels. And we have the Vintner collection, which is way better than the core collection in my opinion. We still have the core collection Sparkling Brut, which this Sparkling Brut is the same that's in this glitter bottle Sparkling Brut without the chevron. And the minis are great to hand out because this is also in the etched bottles. So these all three are the same juice inside the bottle. But yeah, so like that's why I started putting my picture on stuff too, because I wanted to have like face recognition. And I try to use the same picture that I have on my social media channels, but I just changed some of those. Really neat. Should do like headshots one day instead of just my picture in the middle of a wine fest that I was at. So business card. Here is my business card that I use. So if you go back into main canva.com, you can search templates through here. They have business card layouts, all sorts of stuff. I have one that I've already designed and it's called business card. So I'm just gonna pull that one up. And then what I do is I save this as an image and then I pull it into Microsoft Word onto my label, and I just put it on all my labels and print them out. So then I get a sheet of labels that I just put on the back of here. But I also will design this, and I kind of use like clear designs. Oh, that one's not anymore, so we're gonna delete that. Oh, see, I did this so long ago. I have a new editor, so I'm gonna put a new editor. So for this one, let's see if this works. Oh, I'm gonna do a different picture. So there's a new thing that Canva just launched too. So let's say you have a photo. Oops, I'm gonna go to my uploads. I might take this photo of me. Let's say I want this photo of me, but I don't want this background on here. They just launched a thing under effects. You can go to background remover. So your picture is highlighted, background remover. It's working its magic, And voila, it removes that background from my picture. So then this is kind of a...
Very cool.
Yeah, so then if you ever do this and when you save your... another reason to save items as a PNG, it'll also make it as a transparent background. So I would want to save this as a transparent background because I wouldn't want to have all this extra white stuff show up if I wanted to put this on a colored sheet of paper, let's say. which we're getting kind of like in advanced little stuff here, but let's see if I can just do an easy.
And where do you find this background remover?
So it is under effects.
Effects.
When you click your photo that you want to remove the background on, and this is what you can do with a bottle of wine too. So let's try it with a bottle of wine. Let's go to my uploads. I don't know if it'll, let's see how it works with these. I don't know if it'll work well on this one. But let's try it on this background remover. Because it's shot on a white background, so it might remove the tops of the wine bottles. Oh, it didn't. Okay.
Oh, way cool.
So see how that works? So it's not perfect by any means because you still have those little shadows there. But let's say you just remove that background. Now you want to just crop this because you just want that cheers to you bottle. So you can just crop this. I might want to do a little tighter crop right there on that side. And now you just have this cheers to you bottle. And
Very neat.
It doesn't have a background, you can put it on this colored piece of paper. See, and it's not perfect. Like if you did one that's just a single bottle of wine. Oh, so like I have, what do I do? I got tongue tied here. So this is just a screenshot from the website. So if you go into the website, which if anybody's new, first and foremost, know your website, scroll through that, look at all the products that we have, click all the buttons. That's also where you're going to find a lot of your answers. It's also where you're going to see that what products we carry. A lot of people have been making images that have old products on it. You want people to recognize your product, so know what your products are, so they will go to your website because they might look for that. Someone posted a Pinot for Pause box the other day, but it was the old one from like 2 or 3 years ago because it doesn't have the little treats in it. It's not a little mason jar. There's the wine label is different. So I actually just deleted it, but I let them know that I deleted it because it was really old and I didn't want somebody to use it because that's not what you offer right now. But I think about it. What'd you say, Melissa?
Oh, I was saying, I hope it wasn't me. I know I put the Pinot for Pause box, but it's what I got off of the resources shareables recently.
Yeah, then that's fine. I always like to go through my phone, sometimes just like on a Sunday morning, scrolling through, taking screenshots of stuff, make them bigger on my phone too, because then I can use them in my Instagram stories and all of that stuff too, and just have them handy. So this one is a screenshot just like that from the computer, but I want to remove the background on this one, so I just have the box and I don't have all this white space. So same thing, go into Effects, Background Remover. And voila.
Very
and then
cool.
Yeah, crop it so it's just like that picture. And now I can move this wherever I want. And it could be just that little picture, which is really cool. So if I was to, I'm gonna change this background on here back to white. I wouldn't really use this as my business card, but let's say I was going to save this because I wanted to. I'm going to show you a quick little thing. If I save this as a PNG and I'm going to make the background transparent, that's kind of what it just did when I created that background remover. Notice that background was transparent, so I could put it over that red background and then it would be just fine. It wouldn't have the weird lines around it. But if I wanted to download this whole design so I could pop this onto like a colored page, you can do that too. You can create your business card or create your little image. I actually made a little logo for my, I use FloDesk instead of a MailChimp or a Constant Contact. And I can pop into that really quick and show you too, because the designs, the templates, it's really easy. It's nice and clear. It also makes a nice, I can do workflows, which I just started doing. So I have I'll go into it in just a second and I'll show you how it works. But so I'm going to save this. I just want to save the first page of this. So I'm downloading just the first page. You can choose if you want to download them all or just one page or two page. Click done. It's a PNG, transparent background. I'm going to download it. Then I'm going to upload this card over here. So you can see when I upload it, there's no background behind it. Can you guys all see that?
Mhm.
There's no background. So if I was to add a new page, I'm going to make this page teal. Go back over to my uploads and put this on a teal background. It'll just show up like that. So a lot of times I do this. I may take, actually I did it right here. I don't know if you can see it. I took the PDF of the corporate gifting brochure. So this is also why I'm printing off the corporate gifting brochures, just a segue. If you print them ourselves, they kind of come out in this weird shape, but I'm having the printer print them so they're nice. And it's not going to be the same exact quality as what you may have received from corporate, because they have a heavy cover stock on the outside and they have a thinner paper inside, which makes it expensive. So I'm just doing it in kind of a nice little simple glossy one, because these are just like little leave behind pieces, and I want to make it for us, and like I start with myself first. I want to make it cost effective for me, but cost effective for everybody, because I also want this to fit in a normal envelope that I can mail this to my customers. Or if I leave it behind, like, to me, as long as they have this information, that's what the most important part is to me. So it's not going to be super heavy, so it'll weigh less than what it needs to, so you can still put a cover sheet in it, and mail it out to your customers in a regular size envelope for 50 cents versus having to pay $1 for it or extra postage. But on this one, I downloaded the PDF, and then I put that, I don't know if you can see I have my name on there. I just popped it on there. So I take their PDFs and sometimes bring them into Canva and then just pop my information on it and then reprint it out. So if I'm going to leave it behind, it has my information on it. That makes sense?
Yeah, I like that, because that was one of the questions I asked, because it has everywhere to contact gifting. And my question was, well, how do I get them to make sure they contact me?
Well, so the other thing with when they contact gifting, as long as they know your name, that's why your name is so important. And gifting will ask, oh, where did you find out about this? Where have you heard this? I don't know how in depth they go. If they say, oh, I saw it on Instagram, I don't know if they're like, oh, well, was it from one of our cause entrepreneurs? Was it our corporate site? You know, blah, blah, blah. That's why you need to know your name. Because even if they call gifting and they say, oh, yeah, I follow this girl, Janine, on Instagram, and she posted it. So, you know, then at least they're going to be like, oh, Janine who? Do you know who it is? Or do you know the Instagram handle? So they can give us the credit for it. Again, I don't know how much they drill down and to be like, oh, okay, you saw it on Instagram, but from who on Instagram? You know?
Right.
So that's why, because they run a lot of ads and stuff too, even
They
for
do.
CEs joining our team. You know, they have their own lead generation system. So if a CE comes in through lead generation, but they've been following you, but they click on the One Hope website and they don't put your name in when they sign up, that doesn't mean that that CE is going to become on your team. So it's kind of like, you got to just know your name. That's why it's like, promote yourself. And I sound like a broken record, I think, in the image sharing page, but we have so many new people all the time on there that I'm like, you made something cute. It does not have to have the One Hope logo on it. You made a cute meme. You don't have to put One Hope logo on it. Let One Hope put their logo on stuff. You can put your name on something. Like, direct the traffic back to you. Hopefully that makes sense. Now there's something else that I just did because Canva just let us do this too. So this might be a little bit more like advanced in our wheelhouses, but where's mine? So how many of you have heard of like a link tree?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to learn about that.
Okay, so there is a program out there called Linktree. I don't really know what it is. I've never used the Linktree before, but I do see a lot of people that use it, and Instagram influencers and followers and stuff. So on their Instagram, in their bio page, where it'll say, you know, a lot of us will say link in bio, link in bio. That link in bio will go to like one page because it's one website that it takes you to. If you're doing a link tree, or actually I'm just going to show you how you make your own link tree through Canva, which you have to have the pro version to do this. This is where people can click your one destination, but you can make your own little landing page through Canva. So I went in to Canva. I created this using a Instagram layout because that's the size, because I want to make it so most people are using their phone for everything. So you want to make sure whatever you're creating is compatible for a phone as well as for a desktop computer. So I used an Instagram layout. So this would be on our phone. I put all my elements in here. I have my little shop with me link. I have a link that's on attached to this. So then you go over to the magical little button on the right of the download. You scroll down to show more. And down here it says website. So this will automatically take this page and convert it into a website. So instead of doing a presentation, I'm going to do scrolling because that means somebody just will scroll with up or down on their phone. And then I'm going to open my website. So now this is my landing page, which is also like a link tree. So people can click shop with me. If you want some information on nonprofit fundraising, you can click that. This is going to take you to my workflow within FloDesk, so I can capture someone's information. So it'll give me their first name, their email address, and then if they click this, information will be emailed to them about fundraising with wine. So that way I can, you know, hopefully get back in contact with them to be like, let's do a fundraiser. Host a tasting. Oh, same thing. I have another little link that if they want to host a tasting, I can capture their information. Oh, actually, I just started doing that last night. So right now it actually just goes to my One Hope website, which is perfect just to direct people back to your One Hope website. Because as long as they click on your One Hope website, they're shopping with you, because it'll say shopping with Janine, shopping with Megan up at the top. So then if they go back to One Hope again within their browser, it'll still be kind of linked to you. So that's kind of how you capture some of their information too. You won't know who they are, but at least if they shop or continue to shop or look around, it'll be like, oh, this is cool, you know, and then they can shop with you. Gifts, same thing. I just have it so that it clicks, so it goes right to the gift box page. If you don't know how to do that, if you look up here at the URL, any one of these pages can be redirected to your specific page by adding $dealer equals and then your CEID number. So $dealer equals CEID number. And that's always fun to put on your redirects on your whatever you're sharing with too. I also listed all of my fundraisers that I have open on the second page so people could shop these fundraisers, and then the links go directly to the fundraisers. I gotta work on the background of this one because it's kind of can't really see what these are back here, so I gotta check that out. And then the great thing about this too is when you go back in here and you update this page and republish it as a website, it just updates that same thing. So I'm not changing my link. I'm not changing anything about that. It just automatically will update it. Now, you may have noticed that when you go to print it as a website, this is your website URL. So this is a really long website URL up here at the top. This is where it takes you. I take this information, copy that. I use bit.ly, but you can use tiny URL. You can use a Google URL shortener. I just go into bit.ly.com. I do not pay for bit.ly. There is a paid version, and I'm not sure what the paid version does versus the free one. I've only used the free one. But then I take that long URL, I click create, and when you click create, it'll paste your long URL. And then you can customize the back half of it. And it's for free. So it took that long URL, I created a short one, but then I can customize it back here. So I do this sometimes for people's parties and events as well. I might say, you know, Megan's wine fundraising link, or like the school, I'll do WLS spring wine fundraiser or wine fundraiser for WLS or something. Sometimes to make it a little vanity URL because people like that. Just whatever URL shortener service you use, make sure that you realize if it needs to be, if it's case sensitive. Bit.ly is case sensitive, so everything has to be, like if I do it in lowercase, it has to be in lowercase. If there's one capital letter in the middle, then that one has to be capital. Otherwise it'll say, whoops, this is URL is not found. So I just use everything on Bit.ly. The great thing about seeing Bit.ly too is that you can come over here and you can see, oh look, 164 people have clicked that link. So it's kind of interesting to see how many people go to your, you know, your registrations, different things like that happens. So that one had one because nobody knows about it but me. You know, but it's kind of fun to be like, oh, hey, look, 164 CEs have clicked on the gifting insert order. So that's fun.
Tracy.
Yes.
Can this only be done on desktop?
Yes, I would probably say it can only be done on desktop.
For both Canva and Bit.ly?
Bit.ly you can do on your phone. I do Bit.ly's on my phone all the time. And Canva, I personally don't like using Canva from my phone to create, unless you're creating using one of their templates and you're literally just dropping and dragging and editing. I don't like to use Canva from my phone if I'm editing something that someone else has made.
Okay, and then another silly technology question, but when you create your things in the desktop Canva and you have the app on your phone, does it sync everything that you created or have saved in your desktop version into your app, I guess?
Yes, it does. So if I go into Canva, oh, they just updated their they have a new mobile experience that they just updated. So you can remove backgrounds with a single tap. You can do that. They literally just updated. So when you go into Canva on your phone, there's a little icon down here at the bottom that'll say all your designs. And then see, it pulls up everything that I just created as well.
Okay.
So I like to create on my desktop just because I like the bigger screen and I can move things around.
Right.
When I'm on the go, it's so great to have this because then I might go in and be like, oh, you know what did I create the other day? I want to post that now. So I can download something onto my phone and then repost it onto social media.
Okay, yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you definitely can do that. You just can't, I just don't like creating something from scratch. Like for instance, I did a first day of school thing for school. So I created all this stuff from scratch, all the blocks, all the little elements, all that kind of stuff. I would never do that on my phone because it just takes, one, my phone is little, my eyes are older. It just takes too long to put everything in position and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just going to go through. Does anybody else have any questions? We can just open it up for questioning right now. Somebody asked if they could pay me and set all this up for them. Sure, Laura, let's talk. I like doing this stuff too. I think it's fun. So yeah, you want me? And this is also a great way. So when my corporate clients they want to do etching, this is where I create my etching, is in Canva. So like, I just have it laid out as, this is one customer of mine who does stuff over and over again. So I change the name on here and then I submit this into gifting, and this is their lid that they have. So it's pretty cool that you can just create your own stuff. If any of you, I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to charge your customers money to create their little designs too. Just let me know. Wasn't my intention of this, but hey, why not, right? Everybody needs an extra side hustle. So, and I like doing this because I think it's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. Any other questions that we have right now? Did I kind of cover the basics and a little bit more going on through here?
So the Bitly and the MailChimp and the Canva, they just all read each other quite easily?
So
and workflow?
I don't know about MailChimp, probably does. So I'm going to segue over to FloDesk for something, because that's
what I meant.
So that's what I just started to use, is FloDesk, because I was on MailChimp and I used Constant Contact at the school. Constant Contact, if you have over like 2,000 or 2,500 contacts, it costs you like $50 a month. Same with MailChimp. It was like $30 a month, I think, because I have like 2,500 contacts in there, or just a little over 2,000, whatever it may be. FloDesk, I got a referral code from somebody. And so it's $19.90. It's $19 a month for Infinity. You can have as many people in your workflows, in all of your stuff, as much as you want.
It's $19.99.
Yeah. So I will, and if you use my code Wine with Tracy, I'll show you what it looks like. Then that's when you get it for $19.99 a month. Or $19 a month. You have to have somebody share their code. That's how they have it set up. So you get 50% off, so it's $19 when your friends subscribe. So my code is FloDesk.com. I can pop it in the chat. There's also a little part where it just says what's your referral code, and mine is Wine with Tracy in all caps. I like this because I just like the look and feel of the images, and it seems much more trendy, and they just launched some new stuff too. So if you're going to create an email, you go into your emails, create new, and then you see all these different like fun templates. And with everything there's a little learning curve, but this is also, I just like how it's flowed and how it's light and it's bright. You can also, what I just started doing was the workflows. So if somebody fills out the form that wants to know about fundraising, then it does the trigger. So if they're interested, then they get this fundraising. If they subscribe to that fundraising interest, segment, then they get this email from me that talks about wine fundraising. And I just kind of walk through what it is about wine fundraising. So I download a resource, schedule a call, and that's my Instagram on there. But see, it just looks kind of nice, like easy, fun. And this is also where I use my transparent background for like my business card. So I just pop it up on here. So see, I'm branding myself Wine with Tracy versus branding One Hope Wine with Tracy.
Nice.
So.
Okay, so this is what their email would look like.
Yeah.
Everything that we're seeing here. Okay.
Yeah, so this is what the email looks like. So this is what it looks like on a desktop. And then it gives you these great little icons so you can see this is what it would look like on their phone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I just really like FloDesk. It's pretty easy. If you've used MailChimp or Constant Contact, there's a little learning curve to go with it. I use Constant Contact at my other job.
Right.
Sometimes I think that seems like it's a little more plug and play, but again, I like kind of how this looks. I like how I can, create all the different links and stuff in here, just like you can in other mail services. It's just, personal preference what you choose.
And the FloDesk is $19.99 a month, no matter how many contacts.
Yeah. That's what really got me into it. Plus there's this other person that I follow and they were talking about how it's just, just how it looks better. And a lot of people, if you do a Google search on FloDesk, people are switching from MailChimp and ConvertKit and all that stuff because it is $19.99. They work with another like Instagram person. I can't think of her name right off the top, but she has a lot of templates on here too. And it's just kind of good because it's kind of it's geared towards more of an entrepreneur, more of a person who is kind of what we're doing in direct sales. We're sharing ourselves, so we want people to get to know us. We want people to engage with us. So it's more of that kind of a service versus like the other ones are very businessy services. So it's kind of, they have some good flows and templates on here to use. So yeah. So, any other questions, any comments? Thanks for hanging with me for this long. And I know I was kind of like in and out. And if we want to do
You did great.
One-on-one or we want to have another conversation or anything, just, you can always feel free to Facebook message me or text me or something too. And we can.
And that was great, Tracy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. That was a lot of information.
Yeah, Tracy, quick question.
Yeah.
I put it in the chat, but you may not have seen it. FloDesk, I use MailChimp and I've got 1,300 customers and I paid $10 a month. Is FloDesk cheap, free if it's under 2,000 customers, or is it just automatically $19.99?
You know what? I'm not sure. I had enough customers already and I was on MailChimp and I was paying $29.99 a month for MailChimp. So I was like, I can save $10 a month if I change to this platform. So I'm not sure. I know there is a limit for free. And I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I can look it up for you, Lynn, and text you.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I just wondered if you know off the top of your head. I want to look into it more, so I'll Google it, Tracy. Thank you.
Okay.
I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah, I hadn't either. And this other lady I follow shared it and was talking about how much they love it. And again, I like it too. And I send an email like once a week to my customer list. And I do a recipe, or I do, like I did my dog the other day on National Dog Day and I kind of highlighted stuff. I'm trying to make it so it's not that I'm always selling something to make it something fun. And I'm always surprised each week of who unsubscribes, but then also who emails me back to say, oh, hey, how are you? Like I went to an event with somebody right when COVID, we were all starting to shut down. And, he emailed me back and I was like, oh, didn't even know I had him on my email list, which was great. And he's like, oh yeah, and I've told a couple people about you, so I hope they use you for gifting. And I'm like, yes, like great. But now I'm going to follow up with him in a different way. My emails will be much more strategic for gifting and making sure that it's comes to me, or at least say my name when you call One Hope Corporate, like, you know, because he probably just shared One Hope and he might not have said Tracy. So it's like, just to make sure people know that, like, ingrain that in them. So
I have a question also. I saw you post something that said get your orders in by this Saturday, and I wasn't sure what you were referring to.
oh, so that is for the corporate gifting brochure.
Oh, the brochures.
If you want to order these for print, which I
Yours.
highly recommend. It's not this, it'll be the nice printed version of it, because corporate is not printing those for us. So you know how they print the catalog and we can order that from our back office? They are not printing the corporate gifting insert for us to order.
Okay.
They said it was more cost effective for us just to go take it to wherever we want to do it.
Okay.
But I know that this looks kind of cheesy when you print it off this way. You don't have full bleed and stuff on your printer. It's also not very cost effective if you want to print that in color at Staples or Kinko's, because it would be probably $1 for each side of that piece of paper, because printing in color is a lot. It costs a lot locally. So I worked with a printer that I worked with before, and so she gave me a quote for if we order, you know, either anywhere from 5,000 to 7,500 of them. So I went with the 7,500 level. So if you have teammates that need these too, share with your teammates, tag them in the post, let them know what this is for. Once I do the print run, you know, I might have a couple hundred left over, but they won't be available again. Like I'm not going to necessarily do multiple print runs.
And then how do we get money to you, or what's the cost? Or
I'm going to Venmo you. So I'll either Venmo you or PayPal you tomorrow, an invoice once I have everybody's orders on there. So just fill out the order form, which is at, where did I put it? I think I have a bit.ly for that, actually. Hold on. I do, gifting inset order. And I love using a Google form to collect information because I get to see all the, I have all the responses in one place. So, and this will be like my own little fulfillment. Maybe Liz and Lynn will come over and help me, and maybe we'll do a little pack out session of little catalogs to the CEs and drink some.
Where are you from? Where are you?
I live in Los Angeles. Yeah. So, and I know, and Liz and Lynn live right down the street from me. So they're close. So here I am enrolling them into coming over and helping mail out.
While drinking
drinking wine. I'm giving you wine though. We'll open a bottle of reserve. A good reserve wine. See.
So,
yeah. So any other, and these gifting brochures will be available. This brochure will be good for, they don't ever update them hardly. So unless they launch something new for gifting, these are good until infinity.
So Tracy, are you referring to this that they're not gonna do?
Yes.
Because I just got this.
They're sending them in the boxes of wine, but they're not going to print them for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah. So all of your customers from now moving forward are going to receive that. So you want to make sure that they know that that's in there. They know that you are the person that can help them with corporate gifting. But One Hope is not printing those specific brochures for us to order, which is why I decided to do a print run, because I wanted some.
Got it. So it's just for a box. Oh, got it. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and again,
I just had one more question.
Oh, sure.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Mm-mm.
My question has to do with the back office, though. So if you wanted to finish on the brochures.
Oh, so my last on the brochure, so it won't be that same thickness or that middle weight. It's going to be a little, it's going to be nice. It's just not going to be that same weight. I'm trying to think, where did my sample paper? It's going to be like a little glossy paper, so it'll be nice. Lightweight. I'm not going to do it
Sure, it'll look good.
unlike printer paper. It'll be a nicer. That way too, it keeps the cost down for us, and we at least have it to send out and hand out to people. Because I'm gonna I think people are tired of email. People are tired of being on a Zoom. They want to just do, I am a tangible person. I have everything like here. Like I like to look at stuff. If I'm an executive assistant, I put it in a file so I can have it for reference for the future. So that's why it's like I want to mail them out or just hand them out or drop them off at places because I just think it's better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my question for the back office and how you can buy wine there. It's just cheaper because we're not getting a commission off of it, right?
So in your CE back office, the only reason that you should buy wine back there is if your CE wine cellar is open. I'm going to share my screen just to make sure that, so we're talking on the same page. I'm a visual person too, so it's like, let's do it this way. So when you log into your back office, oh, my roommate's making something with garlic. I can smell it. It smells good. Yummy. And you go over to shop. You should have two different options that are open, your CE wine cellar and your business supplies. So if you buy wine from your CE wine cellar in a case or a half case, that does count towards your PCV and your sales for the month.
Oh, it does.
It does.
What is the purpose of buying it back here in the back office?
So when you buy it back here, you do get a discount on it. Plus you get commission on it. So essentially by the time that you, actually, it's funny that you asked that. I happen to have a slide on that handy. Hold on. No, it's true. When you why I'm on this page though. So that only counts if you buy the 12 or the 6 bottles. Does it count towards your commission and your PCV? Only the CE wine cellar. Do not buy anything else back here that you can buy from your website. Do not buy this Estate Sauvignon Blanc. Don't buy any of these wines, any of these glitter bottles. First of all, they're the same price. You're not going to make commission on them, and it doesn't count towards your PCV if you buy it from here. So buy this, anything that you want to buy from your website, your own personal website, and additionally buy it through a party link. Because when you purchase it, put it through an event link, sorry, I'm old school. We used to call it party link, and now we just changed it to event with the new system. So buy it through an event link, because when you go through an event link, you're also earning host rewards, plus 10% will go back to that cause with that event. Yeah. So you kind of get much more benefits. Plus you're going to make commission on it. Plus it's going to count towards your PCV. So there's so much a greater reward when you buy through an event link. And as entrepreneurs, we should always have our own personal event link open every single month that we're carrying. We can have as many open as we want. And then that way too, we're just constantly modeling what it is that we do and what we're promoting and what we want other people to do when they have a wine tasting. So if your CE wine cellar is open, purchase your 6 or 12 bottles of wine through there. Essentially, it's going to come out to about a half price once you get paid back your commission. Other things that you can buy from your back office that aren't on your website are the catalogs, and there's some other business supplies on here. I wouldn't buy any of this stuff. This is also why you want your host rewards, because then you can just buy the new gift set so you can show it to people. The business pack, you can get that. Anything that's under business supplies, I'm trying to scroll down here and see. The folders, the host planners, host brochures, any of that stuff that's not available on your website. And then let me see where I have that one little page that says.
I love your tip about like go on your website and look through everything and click and shop, and because I was really surprised that some of my CEs that have been around for a while on my team didn't have any knowledge of the ins and outs of their own website. So when people started asking questions, they didn't know where to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised too. Like, I just think that you should.
That was the first thing I did.
Yeah, dive into your website. I always say recommend open a party link.
Lifeline.
And, you know, trying to see how I click through here. Oh, here we go. I was going to show you the page that talked about your wine. Sorry, this is my presentation for new CEs.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Thanks. I haven't done one with my team for a while. Sorry, team. Let's see, where did it go? Oh yeah, and you guys know too that when you share the event link that you can use this little short number.
Yeah. I just learned that, and I've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah. Just do onehopewine.com/event and then the event ID number right there, and it's like so much easier. I still see people using that very long link. They did change it on the emails that go out now too, so it's the shorter one. It used to just be the long one, but it's the shorter one.
Girl, your presentation is awesome.
I'm missing the page where I well, maybe I don't have it on here. Maybe I just wrote it on a single page. Sorry. Oh, here you go. Wine cellar discount.
Oh, okay.
So this basically tells you what your wine cellar discount would be.
Oh, so your wine cellar could open and close? Or
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your wine cellar is only open when you hit 300 PCV.
In a month?
Yeah, so if you hit it this month in August, if you hit it today, it'll open within 24 hours, and then it'll be open off for the month of September. And you hit 300 PCV in September, it'll be open September and October.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. And that's what it kind of breaks it down to, like what it actually is, so what your price is.
Okay, well that's a lot better. I'm going to try to buy that way.
Yeah.
One other question I had was, I was just thinking of it a couple minutes ago.
Tracy, thanks for all the extra info.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah, other than Canva, we've gotten a lot of information today.
There's a lot of information to know, and it's, you know, I think too, and it would be great to know like your perspective on it. Janine, you've been here for a while. Melissa, you're newer. Megan, you've been around for a while too. But like, what is there, like, I don't know, I kind of want to start a thing on our CE image sharing page too about like just what are the hints the tips that people need to know when they start. Like, I think there's so much stuff, and I'm really like, you know, and not that I know better than any other trainer, but there's a lot of people that are joining that aren't connected with a mentor right away too.
Right.
And
it
so
took a little while for me, Dylan.
Yeah, and so they're asking all the questions on the community page, which is awesome because that's what it's there for. But you know, it's like I wish there's like boom, like a cheat sheet, like the first thing that they get, like boom, like what would it be? What would be your top tips? Like maybe put that out so people can share on there.
It's a good thing because there's a lot, and they point you straight to the training, which is wonderful, but it's a lot. So
yeah.
I point my CEs to the resources and index immediately. I'm like, here's where everything is, because I didn't know about that until after my fast start.
Yeah, I feel like I lost a lot during that fast
where all
start.
the information is.
I think they do a really, really, really good job with the fast start now versus how it used to be.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, and I think the beauty. Oh, did you remember your question?
I did.
Okay.
So I have my first event today. It's scheduled at 5, and but I had 2 people make purchases this morning.
That's great.
Awesome.
But I don't know if they purchased through the event link or not. How do I figure that out?
Events, and then manage event, and then orders.
Yeah.
You're back office.
And if they didn't purchase through the event link, then
Contact
it just
support.
doesn't get counted towards it?
Email support,
Okay.
these order numbers, and say, please move these into this event.
Oh, okay.
Event number.
Okay, cool.
They will move.
Support's really good. They're very helpful about stuff like that because it happens a lot,
They
Okay.
won't do
especially
that.
ahead of time and after the event.
They won't do it if the month is closed and it's onto a new calendar month though.
Right.
But
Yes.
I just noticed that with somebody too, that I sent them the link and I don't know what happened, but I wasn't doing my normal reconciliation with parties and stuff. And I was like, why is her event empty? Like she just purchased $300, but she didn't purchase it through her link. So, but it was in July that she did it. So they couldn't move it over because then that counts for commissions this month, but it's already been paid out on commissions. So yeah, just check it how to move it.
Yeah, I had
So
that.
I
Yeah,
need to
make
do that
sure, Melissa,
this
that you
weekend.
close out your event by Monday if you're wanting it all for this month.
Okay, so don't leave it open then?
Well, event opening is kind of a strategy depending on what you're doing with that event.
Right.
So if the cause wants to have the money and the host wants to have the host rewards next month, a lot of things that what we do are based on just like that one party for that host. So if it's a single party for a single host, I keep it open for like a week after, or maybe a week and a half, so the host can gather up their outside orders and then close it. If people know that they have a lot of time, they're not going to order. So kind of fundraising one-on-one on that aspect of things.
Okay.
However, I have my own personal one that's open for a while until I decide that I want to cash that one out or send it. So right now, one of mine is, I had one that was open for a while that I just put random orders in that would come in because I have friends and different people that order. So they order through that random link. So there's like, I don't know, $50, whatever donation. So that's going to go to the Iowa Derico, that huge land tornado that went through there, or hurricane, to a nonprofit there. So I'm going to close that out in August. Plus, I also want to close it out in August because I also want to use the host rewards to get a couple of the new gift sets. I'm probably going to order minis. So then they'll get their money in September. If you close it in August, the cause will get their money the following month at the mid-month. And then you'll get your host rewards. So then I can I think you have like 60 days to cash out your host rewards. So I'll cash out the host rewards. If I'm working with a nonprofit, like the school that I work at, it's a nonprofit. I have a link that's open for them for 6 months at a time.
Oh.
I don't close that link because for a nonprofit, it's, unless they want to do quarterly giving, and they want to switch their link every quarter, most of them are so busy fundraising, raising money, doing their stuff. They don't have time to change their links all the time and go back and change all the hyperlinks on a website. So it's easier just to keep one open and then keep the development director in tune with what they are actually, where they're at, what they're doing, making sure that they are getting shareables to share with their constituents so they can keep pushing to buy wine as there are other ways to give.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it, so like if
It's
you're
breathe, girl, you'll love it. And see, you can see it all over.
A lot of stuff.
You're gonna do great. You'll be fabulous.
Just remember, it's wine and a give back.
Absolutely.
Keep it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you're doing.
No, I think it's a great thing. I like it.
who
And
is
you can't mess up. I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, what if I say this wrong? Or what if I do that? You can't mess up. You'll be fine.
Yeah. There's nothing. First of all, nobody knows what you know or what you don't know.
True.
Whenever you go into a presentation, that's like the first rule. They don't know what you're supposed to say or what you're not supposed to say. They're just happy that you're there to say something.
Yep. And they get to drink wine.
Yeah, and they get to drink.
Yeah.
And the catalog truly is like your best friend. All your information that you need to know is right here.
Okay.
And it's on the back of the wine bottle. I don't know if you have a favorite wine yet, and maybe they're sharing that favorite wine or a favorite cause.
Mm-hmm.
We always like to try to share with people, with new CEs too, like at your first event or your first couple events or whatever, to find a wine that you really like, at least one, and one of the causes that's attached with the wine. Hopefully they're the two together, or it doesn't have to be, because when you speak passionately about that one thing, that's where you shine. And that's where you also then, if you can really truly say like, oh my God, this sparkling brut is amazing. Like I'm not a sparkling brut fan, but when I tried this, it was like little tiny bubbles in my mouth, just and it just brings me joy. And then I read the bottle that it ends childhood hunger. It's like, oh my God, why would I not want to drink this every day?
Right,
like,
right.
Little snack sizes, you know? So once you're passionate about one wine or something, and you can talk about it more from a perspective of enjoying it, then people really are like, oh, okay, that's cool. And it also eases you. It makes you, once you're comfortable and you're just like, oh, let's talk about the Chardonnay. Like, you know, if you had anybody in your family with breast cancer, and you can talk about that, or a relatable cause, or one of the cause partners, or even the cause that your host is talking about. You know, it just is, brings it. And then tell a joke, make a mistake, laugh, smile, have fun. It just will be like, oh, got this, you know.
I think the best events that I've had is when I've just completely got tongue-tied or twisted, and I'm like, look, I'm sorry. You know, we're all human, we're normal, and everybody makes mistakes, and it just made everybody comfortable. I actually had 3 new CEs jump on my all-time worst ever event.
Wow.
For me personally. So it just makes it personable, and they realize, you know, you don't have to know everything. It's just like she said, if you're passionate about the cause or a specific wine, it just makes it so much better.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, I just saw the whole on your face, so I was like, "You're gonna be great."
You'll be great. Yeah, and no 2 events are ever alike.
No,
none of us have ever probably done the exact same event the exact same way. Even though Liz is always like, "Oh, I like how you say that," and it's like, okay, but that's how I say it. How do you want to say it? You know, there's such power between what we have and just the words we choose too. And sometimes it's just a little nuance of, so even working with hosts, like hosts are like, oh, well, what should I give back to? And I'm always like, well, we're here so we can dive deeper into our local communities. And like, even as CEs, start with your local community. Yeah, it's great that you want to raise money for St. Jude's, but you know what? St. Jude's can run TV spots and billboards, and they have major donors.
Yeah.
You know what? The little shelter down the street that's helping the homeless, or that's helping your kids with tutoring, they need the funding. So like, think local. And even with all of us, like, oh, corporate gifting, what can we do? Or nonprofits, where should it, you know, it's like, think local, work within your local market, get people to know you, work within your chamber of commerces, walk down the street. You know, I think that's one thing that I've learned with One Hope and doing direct sales. It's like, oh, if people don't know me, how are they going to buy wine from me? And I need to share with them. So now there's like a nail salon. I don't even go to this nail salon, but every time I walk in, the lady's like, hey, Tracy, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. I see you like once a year. How you have good recall for my name? I don't know. But she's like, oh, are you still doing wine?
Wine.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. It just, you know, it's really interesting. So.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, and Laura just shared too that she said St. Jude in Memphis is where she lived. Thing that I find more people are willing to support and purchase from nonprofits they know about and recognize, like St. Jude for some reason. Oh, well, that's true too. And it's all based on
local for you. That's where you are.
Local. Yeah. So perfect. And no disrespect to St. Jude or the Mayo Clinic or any of those things. I've fundraised for all of them. But see, Laura, I think too, like, depending on your rare disease and the foundation that you have, I think too, that's all about educating people on it. Educating, like your social media posts, what you say should educate people on that. Share with people, you know how One Hope, we're all about the impacts. Like, we used to have impact numbers, which we don't have anymore due to there's like legal regulations with that, on as far as saying like this provides 1 meal, like, you know, but work with your nonprofits locally, or wherever you're raising money for, even with your hosts, to say, if you raise $50, what will that do for that organization? If you raise $200, what will that do for that organization? And then back it out into the amount of wine that needs to be sold. Because people, there's a light bulb moment that comes on, and people will be like, oh, even our hosts, it's like, when we talk about host rewards and how they have to reach $500 in sales in order to hit, start earning host rewards, if we say you need to sell 4 half cases of wine or 2 cases of wine with a glitter in each one, doesn't that sound a lot better than saying $500?
Yeah.
Ooh, you know, so position it in that way when you're talking. And same with the impact. So Laura, with your foundation, if there's something that, you know, oh, hey, I'm raising money for XYZ Foundation. I'm looking, you know, for $50. Here's the impact that'll go with this. A lot of nonprofits have that impact right on their website. Some do, some don't. Some email into the development office or one of the board of trustees or somebody. You know, don't be afraid to just pick up the phone or an email and drop them a line. I did that last night. I was watching a TV show and there was some organization and I was like, you know, these people should do wine fundraising. So I just sent him my email and I'm just like, hey, I'd love to help you fundraise because I love dogs too. You know, like, let's have a conversation on how you can get more money because people are buying wine left and right, especially in your state of Pennsylvania where the liquor stores were closed. So let's talk, you know. So there's like a lot of different things, but also on their website, they might have an impact section. I know a local food bank here did an event and they were doing, and it was like, if somebody would have bought a half case of wine, that would have donated, I think it was like 20 meals back to that place.
Wow.
Or 40 meals for a full case of wine. So when we equate it that way to what we're doing, people are like, wow, that's amazing. If you can get somebody from that nonprofit, like Laura, if you're in this foundation and you're doing, you know, let us know what your foundation is too, because sometimes collectively as like cause entrepreneurs, a lot of people are looking, you know, hosts don't have a cause that they want to raise money for. So they're like, oh, who else, you know, has a cause? Like maybe I want to raise money for you. A couple people have done different books and raised money for like Katie Barton, who has a library in Africa. Someone else is doing like their own little walk, or not walk, I guess they're hiking Mount Kilimanjaro. You know, there's different things. So too, it's fun, like lean on us as a resource too, to see like, oh, hey, like, you know, how can we do this? If there's people in your area in Memphis too, like get together and do a social distancing wine party and do driveway drinks or sidewalk sips and, you know, share information too. Your website, if you have your own foundation, should have other ways to give and should list wine on there with a link to your website, to your event link. And it should just be on there, you know, that's if you have your own foundation.
All right.
So.
Cool.
We know a lot of information, but always know that there's always somebody that is here to help you. You know, in one hope. I mean, I'm here to help my team and everybody else too. Like that's what we do. I think that's the great thing about our community too. It's like we're all here to help and answer questions.
That's my favorite part, because I've been with another company and it was totally opposite. They would get upset if you, my gosh, how dare you use a flyer that they created or something. I mean, this company is so awesome about sharing and helping everybody, no matter what team you're on or where you are, or, you know, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's so cool how they have all the shareables and stuff. Like it's just available right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, and it is so good because we all come from different perspectives. We all come from different knowledge levels and skill levels of doing stuff. And it's like, I love to like create this stuff. So that's why it's like, oh, I create it and I think my designs look okay. So it's like, I want to share it because I want people to be going down the right path, you know, and not being like, oh my gosh, like you just like vomited all over that with words and it's like too much. Like, slowly roll. Like, I know, so, and, it's just kind of good to teach and share. That's why I was like, oh, let's do a little Canva 101, which now this has went from Canva to FloDesk to
we've been all over everywhere today.
But I also think that these are very helpful conversations in general too. I mean, we may have just spent 2 hours of our time together on a Saturday, but we have connected. We've gotten so much more out of it with each other. We have a lot of great knowledge from everybody, and I learn from everybody just as much as, you learn from me. So that's why it's like, I love doing this. Like, we were doing a coffee time, like, chat with the director, but I think that fell off. But I'm always happy to do a happy hour with.
Yeah, so we used to do a lot of fun happy hours when the pandemic first started, because that was really great for me, because that was all of our way to stay connected and kind of learn how to shift our business and what to do. And I tell you what, I have the greatest friends that live all over the United States now, just from all of our happy hours with One Hope. I have people that I talk to on a daily basis now that I would have never met if this pandemic hadn't happened, maybe, so there's some plus sides to it. I always try to find the silver lining.
Yeah, very good.
So this Zoom is recorded and will be put into CE image sharing?
Yeah, I'll pop it in there. Yeah.
So you're going to pop it in there. How do you do that?
So it'll download the file, and then I just upload it. Actually, I'm probably going to upload it to my YouTube channel, and then I'll put the YouTube link in there, because this is a really long file. So I'll just say, here's the file, because then it can just live on my YouTube page. I'll probably go through and maybe mark certain sections, like here we kind of talked about FloDesk, here we kind of talked about your CE back office, here we talked about this, so people can click on that, nice. See it too. So then that way it's like, I know it's a lot, like I can ramble on forever. But normally, that's why I created the presentation for the welcome to the team, because if I didn't have that and I wasn't structured and knowing what I was doing, I would just be like, oh, here, oh, squirrel, I'll show you this. Like, I was going to do a presentation for today, and I was too busy at my other job, like figuring out stuff, so I didn't.
So this was great. Really, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tracy.
Good, you're welcome. And if you're going to order corporate gifting brochures, make sure to place your order today so I can put the order in with the printer and send all the billing tomorrow. Yeah, Liz said I think we should do a Zoom for each app. I might, because I also want to do word swag. So maybe I'll just record one myself without people on it, and then maybe I'll no, but I actually love it. I love the connection, and I love the questions, because I know what I know, but that doesn't mean that that's what you want to know too. So it kind of gives you that guide down the street. That's what I try to do. Even if I do like a CE, like a welcome to the team CE training, I like to have one new CE from my team commit to a time that they're going to be there. Because, people say yes, they're going to come, and then they don't show up at a Facebook event or a Zoom or something too, which, we all have done it, but, it's like, if that was your host, like how horrible would they feel if they had like, 15 people were supposed to be on this Zoom and now only one person showed up. But still, with parties, I've had great parties with 2 or 3 people. And same with team trainings. I've had great team trainings where I've had them here at the house where it's been 3 or 4 people that have showed up instead of the 15 that said they were going to. You just get it. It's much more intimate. You get much more one-on-one time with people, and you get to connect better too. So there's always a plus side to everything.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go finish cleaning my house for this event today.
Good luck today.
Melissa.
Thank you.
Well, share
Thank you. Have a
up if you need any questions. If you have any questions, let us know. Yeah. So awesome.
Will do.
Well, great.
All right. Thanks. Have a great day, everybody.
Today. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye.
Bye.